Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Jack. Welcome to another episode of Raw Tropical Living. Appreciate you tuning in today. It's Friday. Hope everybody's all ready for the weekend, excited for the weekend. If you're here in the States, you might be celebrating the holiday, Labor Day, which is the kind of traditional end to the summer, although heat-wise, we won't be done with summer for a while here in these parts. I don't know. I'm just kind of like settling back in after being away for 10 days and getting back at it hard on Monday. This weekend, I think tomorrow I'm going to go down to Pensacola. I got to stock up on supply on some stuff since, I was gone for a while. And I think I'm going to check out a new vegan restaurant, which I'm thinking has lots of possibilities. I believe they have a good bit of raw stuff on the menu. So that should be exciting, and I'll report on that after I go. Anyhow, today I want to talk about my #1 raw food diet tip, and how the rest is just details. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please go down there and hit that subscribe button now, and immediately go over there and click on that little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. YouTube has a habit of unsubscribing people from various channels, although I don't know why they do that. People are so caught up in details on this raw food diet. Just the comments I get, the questions I get, whether it's here on Instagram, the things I read other places, just the things that are concerning people. You just want to tell them, stop, obsessing about every single little detail. And sometimes it's avoidance and just putting things off, like, okay, I can't get started until I know everything. I can't get started until I know every detail and how to do this thing just perfectly. I can't get started until whatever. What is that saying? I'm going to butcher it here because it's not on the tip of my tongue right now. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. So one thing to know is you're not going to listen. Most of us ate. Or I say most of us, I probably shouldn't assume. Maybe you didn't eat as bad as me, but I ate garbage for a lot of years. So I kind of just logically from the beginning figured, okay, I'm not going to worry about doing this thing wrong. I'm not going to worry too much about doing this thing wrong, because if my body was able to sustain me for some 48 years on the garbage that I ate before, I'm pretty sure that even if I'm doing this diet very wrong, that it can't be any worse than that. Eating fast food, eating fried food, eating lots of animal products, whatever. Okay, if I don't do it quite right on fruits and vegetables, I'm still eating fruits and vegetables. I'm still putting good things into my body. And it's like people are all dancing all around the main thing they need to be doing on this lifestyle, and they don't want to hear that. People want a detailed plan. I think sometimes when there's a lot of details, when there's a lot of rules, when there's a lot of things you need to follow, when there's a lot of steps, it seems more effective. It seems like you're doing more. It seems like you're putting more effort into it. It seems like you have more knowledge. And in a lot of situations, you can just kind of clutter your mind up with a lot of, I won't say useless things, because some of these things that are the details that I'm talking about, I'm not saying they're not important. I would even go so far as to say as they are important, and there's something that you need to learn about, you should explore as you go. But what I'm saying is you don't need to know how to do this diet, this lifestyle perfectly, exactly right, whatever that means, to do it, to get started. You can learn it as you go. I like to learn things on the fly. I don't like to wait until I know everything before I jump in. Although that is kind of a mode I will tend to default to in other things. I can see mistakes and problems in this lifestyle, which I don't have in this lifestyle, by reflecting on just thought patterns and mistakes I make in other areas of life. And I tend to do that when it comes to other things, you know, like overthinking, waiting till I learn a little bit more. Well, I don't want to do it wrong, so let me learn a little bit more and let me delay the action while I'm learning. Which is in most things. Now, there may be some things out there in life that you don't want to proceed without knowing every single detail. There might be something dangerous, you know, but for the most part, I would say that's good advice for most things. Learn as you go, you know, figure it out. In the middle of things, with your hands dirty, is the best learning process there is. And anyhow, my number one raw food diet tip that I've talked about over and over and over and over, and I will keep talking about it over and over and over until it kind of starts to sink in, is you simply have to eat enough. You can eliminate so many of the other problems if you are simply eating enough. Once you're eating enough, you're doing this lifestyle. You might not be doing it right, you might not be doing it perfectly, but you will be able to do this lifestyle if you eat enough. And I go back, I started this diet June 16th, June was 6 years ago. I started following a raw food diet. And I'm going to tell you, the number one thing I did not do was I did not eat enough. All my problems back there resulted from not eating enough. And when you don't eat enough, this lifestyle doesn't work. You don't have the energy. So that, I think a lot of times where people, I've seen that where people are saying, well, I'm not getting the energy other people are. You're not eating enough. And it also, not eating enough in the beginning kind of led me in a wrong direction, or not necessarily in a wrong direction, but all the problems I had or anything that I felt wasn't working on this lifestyle for me, I went in the wrong direction. I started looking, okay, well, am I missing something here? Is there a deficiency? Is there this or that? My biggest problem was just that I had no energy. I was lightheaded all the time, and I heard about all this boundless energy, and I'm like, okay, when am I going to get it? And it was simply for me, so I was trying to figure out, okay, should I be eating this instead of that? Should I be doing this instead of that? Blah, blah, blah. When it all boiled down to the most simplest detail, I wasn't getting enough calories. I wasn't taking in enough energy. Once I started eating massive amounts of food and getting what I feel like for my body requirements, for my size, for my activity level, the amount of food that I need to be eating each day, then I kind of started progressing, and then I could figure things out as I went along. Lots of mistakes still along the way, you know, went through periods of weight where I was eating way too much fat, but I was eating enough food, I was staying mostly raw, and my body was cleaning, it was healing, it was regenerating, it was getting stronger. And by constantly eating enough food, constantly keeping my calories up there, I was able to kind of keep moving forward as long as I did that. And that was just like that aha moment, and that's why I've done like I do. And that's why people are always, well, Jack, maybe you should do this, maybe you eat too much, maybe you shouldn't eat this much, maybe you shouldn't eat till this time of the day. Always remember this. I haven't been back and forth. I've been doing it for that 6 years. I haven't been doing it perfectly. I'm probably still not doing it perfectly. May not even be doing it right. But I'm constantly moving forward. I'm constantly improving. So, you know, there must be something in the methods that I'm doing. And that's something I've focused on. If you guys, if you've watched this channel for several years, I do the what I eat in a day videos. Even when I'm not doing a what I eat in a day video, I tell you a lot about what I'm eating, and I eat massive amounts of food. And when I say massive amounts of food, everybody should be eating massive amounts of food, because it takes this is not very calorically dense food. I mean, yeah, dense food that we're eating. So it takes a lot. So you have to do that day after day after day after day. I've just recently witnessed that you always have to do it. You know, I was kind of lean over the summer, and then I traveled for 10 days, and You know, my weight, boom, went down. Now I'm at a stage now where just because I wasn't quite, well, and when I was missing calories, probably the past 10, 12 days that I was traveling, it wasn't like a lot in any one day. So, and I've been doing this a while, so it wasn't like I got to a point like, oh my gosh, I need to eat something bad. But I'm just making the point that you have to keep those calories up all the time, or your brain will start going to somewhere else. Okay, I want something else. You won't succeed on this lifestyle. And I know it's counterintuitive because probably every diet, every health program you've ever been on, you've probably tended to restrict on. And you had to restrict on because the kind of food you were eating had a lot more calories in them. So I know that's as basic as it gets. Eat enough food. Eat enough food every day. It really sounds so simple, stupid, but if you do it, you're bound to succeed on this lifestyle. Literally crowd out bad food, crowd out urges for bad food, crowd out cravings for bad food. Just eat. Just eat. And if you have yourself a plan where you just stick to it and don't even do it willy-nilly, like, okay, well, I'm going to eat. People say they're going to eat, but then, okay, they don't. Or okay, well, let me put it off a little bit longer. Do whatever you have to do. That's why I'm just constantly, I almost feel like it's just kind of a desperation throwing a new idea out there. Do whatever you have to do to make this lifestyle work for you. You could come up with, I just throw things out there that my mind churns up. We all have our little tricks and our little hacks to make things work in life that are totally unique to us. But I'll tell you, that's the number one thing right there. You can figure out all the details. If your mind is clear, when you're not thinking about food, when you're satisfied, when you're not constantly, oh God, I want something else to eat, then your mind is calm, it's clear, it can figure out the details. And but when it's in desperation mode, all that brain and all that body wants is like, it wants what it wants. The ego sets in, that impulse, like, you know, just the child, you know, give me pleasure, give me taste, give me entertainment. So, you know, stop worrying about every detail. Well, how many was that? What's the ratio of that? How much of this and this? And how much of this should I be getting compared to this should I be getting? How much should I get daily, weekly, monthly? Figure that stuff out as you go, but eat enough food and it'll give you the clear mind to be able to figure that kind of stuff out. I hope this one made some sense for you today, because if it did, that's all you really need to know. I promise you. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.